Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you are doing well. So now let's start our today's lecture of Pakistan studies. The question we are going to describe today is question number 3, and that is describe labor and agricultural policy announced by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. As you know that in previous question we are learning in this chapter the time period of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and his different efforts towards the country. Now in this question we will basically learn about two topics that are labor policy and agricultural policy. First we will discuss the labor policy, and then in the second half of this lecture is agricultural policy. What is labor policy? Labor policy actually was given for the laborers who were working in the our industries or in our factories as well, and it was given by the Zulfikar Ali Bhutto on 10th February 1972. Some important points announced by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto are present here. We will discuss one by one. Number one is representatives of the laborers. Means from the laborers union there would be any make of any representation in the labor unions, and they would be the 20% of the total strength, and they had the right to check the accounts and stores. Means they would have the easy accessibility to the accounts and the stores of any factory or any industry. Then number two is bonuses. Mean annual bonuses equal to the month salary was announced for the laborers as well. Special bonuses were also announced in this case if the production of the industry is increased. Then working time. Before the time period of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, working times of the laborers were 54 hours, while in this policy of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, they announced that the laborers working hours would be the 48 hours, and if they willingly want to do overwork, then they can have extra paid for this extra hours. Then question point 4 is the amount facility. Every laborer would have the right of old age pension, insurance and gratuity. What is pension? Pension is the monthly amount which is given to any employee after its retirements. Then gratuity. Gratuity is a lump sum amount which any employee gets immediate after retirement at once the time. And the insurance you have basically very good idea what is insurance. Means they can have insurance of their education, their lives and the other aspects as well. Let's continue. That is fifth point, that is medical facilities. Means the medical facilities under the social security scheme would also be given to the laborers and would be paid by the owners. The owners of the mills or the factories would also give the medical facilities to the laborers as well. Then 6 is residential and educational facility. It is the responsibility of the mill owner or the owner of the factory that he will give the residential residence or accommodation and the educational facilities to the laborers as well. And the education of one child of matriculation was the responsibility of the factory. Number 7 is industrial relation commission, that they will make an industrial relation commission. An industrial relation commission was set up for the settlement of disputes of the laborers through trade unions. Junior courts are also made under this commission to resolve the disputes between the laborers and the mill owners as well. Then stewardship. This is a post of stewardship was created who was responsible for settling differences between the mill owners and the laborers. Means if any dispute, any difference come between the mill owners and the laborers, then the stewardship also resolve these issues. Then the ninth and the last part is the job security. Mill owners were made bound to give solid reasons before termination of a labor for job security purpose so that unfair termination could be avoided. What does that mean? In this policy, the security of job is also described for the laborers. Why? Because they can do their jobs properly and they cannot have the threat of the job leaving. So it is very basic point for the job security as well. Now come to the second topic of this question, that is the agricultural reforms. As we know that Pakistan's population is majorly depend upon the agricultural sector of Pakistan, and the more of the population is associated with the Department of Agriculture. To save the farmers from the exploitations, Bhutto's government announced the following agricultural reforms as well, because at that time, because agriculture was very important factor, so Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's government also realized that there should be some reforms in agriculture too. Number one is limit of land. Means there would be the limit of land to everyone who can have or hold the land. What was that? If the land is irrigated by the water or canals, it would be 150 acres, and if the land is not irrigated and actually the irrigated by the natural rain, then you can hold 300 acres. Means this was the limit announced in this policy, and the extra land would be given to the farmers or peasants. Peasants means the workers who are doing works in the field or in the agricultural area. By March 1976, 1.5 million acres of the land was distributed to the farmers at that time. The land purchased by the government servants during their servants of 2 years after the retirement was limited to the 100 acres as well. And the surplus land means the excess land from this limit would be taken over by the government. Means the government will take over this land, but the army officers are exempted from this policy. Means they are not included in this policy. Then point 2 is the educational institutions. No one except for education institutions was allowed to cross this limit. Means that the education institutions are exempted from this land limit of the irrigated or non-irrigated land. Then land and water taxes mean only landowner or the landowner would pay the land and water taxes, and the peasants are not allowed to pay the land and water taxes. No more land would be given to the livestock farms, stables and gardens. Means if you want to make a garden, a stable or a livestock, then no more extra land would be given to this. Hunting grounds. All hunting grounds except those for the historical background were taken over by the government. Means the except historical background, other hunting grounds would be taken over by the government. Then fragmentation of land. What is fragmentation? Fragmentation means the distribution, the distributed parts of land would be finished, and they would be combined under a new scheme named consolidation of land. That fragmentation of land would be the consolidated as soon as possible. Then financial aid. Financial aid was given to the Anjuman-e-Imdad Bahmi to support mechanized farming. Means advanced farming. They will support to the different farmers and the workers on the fields as well. Then we came to the evict of peasants. The landowners were not allowed to evict the peasants on one-sidedly. Means if they want to evict any peasant or any worker from their land, they need a solid logic that can be applied to any labor or the any worker of the land. Then the last point is loans. In this policy, loans were also organized, because if any farmer is cannot afford to buy different technology or advanced technology or tractor trolleys, the loans were granted to the farmers and landowners on the easy installments, that they can easily do their work in the fields as well. So students, I hope we have now better understanding of this question. This question is actually very easy and very simple. You just need to focus on this given video lecture, and you will be able to learn this question very easily and very quickly. So this is your diary, question number 3. Learn this question by heart and also do written practice for better understanding. Thank you.